RFK makes a huge announcement that we need to discuss because I think that this is part of the reason that they do not like Trump, because he is building a team who's wanting to expose a lot of things. Also, NATO has a mass casualty preparation. They want to make sure they're prepared for something that like a black swan event would cause, something of epic proportions. We'll dive in a little bit deeper on that. Lastly, why is George Soros buying all these radio stations up? People don't realize how much of an asset that is and what power he's actually given himself. It's more than just the billions. It's more than just buying the politicians like him and his son are doing. There's a lot of danger in this. You know those 200 stations? They have a lot of conservatives on them. I wonder if they're going to get booted off, or advertising dollars are going to be taken away. Why didn't the government step in and stop that? Because that was probably a antitrust violation. No, because of Soros. Let's talk about these stories today. Hey guys, welcome to the Max. Thank you so very much for being here today. If you are new to the channel, go down here, press subscribe, ring the bell. Give us a thumbs up. It means the world to me. And I know some people say, well, the thumbs up doesn't want to work. Hey, keep on trying. It means the world to me that you are trying. And we humbly ask that you comment. Tell us what you think about today's video. Now, remember, when you comment, when you give us a thumbs up, when you are subscribed, we put all that into a random selector, and you get a chance of winning hundreds of dollars worth of gifts that we give away each and every month. We give it away at the end of the month. So please make sure you are aware of that and make sure that you are doing that. Now, we're in a different location. We're actually on the road, but we had a major hiccup in the whole scenario. I'm going to explain a little bit of it, and also my wife will on our other channel, The Max Life, on our vlog channel. Go check that out because it will blow your mind. Now, it won't come out till probably a few days from now. But it was a crazy story. Okay, I digress. Let's talk about the issues of today because that's what matters. First, let's talk about RFK. RFK drops out some huge news. He actually says in a statement that he released, and also in some interviews, and this has been kind of prolonged, where is he going to fit in the roles? Is he going to do the Maha thing, where it's like make everybody healthy again? Is he going to try to be ahead of the health, the health and human services? What is his role? RFK says he comes out and states that if Trump wins the second term, which he believes he will, he would like to be tasked with investigating, uncovering corruption in various government agencies. Now, when you put RFK, who tries to expose things, Trump, who does not listen to anyone but himself when it comes to trying to make sure that he is not getting bought off. Thirdly, you have someone who is the richest man in the world wanting to cut some of the funding out to some of the government waste. Those three men can do a lot of things. And of course, J.D. Vance, being as sharp as he is, can be a phenomenal asset. Vivek, another great businessman who can do some hard cutting that he's been talking about. Why do you think they don't like these guys so much? Because they're going to disrupt the status quo. Well, RFK comes out and says, hey, I want to be the one to uncover it. I want to be the one to make these decisions and help Donald get to the point where we realize the government needs a change. And it needs a big change. Now, that's a big deal. That might be why there's always risk on Trump's life and others like RFK. Now, what I hope and pray is that he hires some private investigations and he makes sure that he is getting the best protection possible, because mole or not, they're not guarding him like they should. Now, I love the fact that they're upping his security. I love the fact that actually when RFK is with Trump, he is protected more. So I think those are good things. But sometimes you can't teach a dog old trick. You ever heard that old threadbare saying and that cliche? It's true. Sometimes the problem is the government's too big and they can't do a good job. Like private, security. Well, I say that about everything. When it comes to money, when it comes to also making sure the job gets done correctly, sometimes the government doesn't know what they're doing. So therefore, Musk, Trump, RFK, Vivek, Vance, all these guys together could be one heck of a team. Second story. Help me understand this. Now, this is a head scratcher. This is breaking. NATO prepares plan for huge mass casualty event, almost like a World War III scenario, almost like a Black Swan event, almost like nuclear war. Isn't it amazing how we have provocated this? Now, all of a sudden, NATO wants to be like, well, we should prepare for this. It's like, you should have probably counted your chickens before they hatched. Kind of the old country saying here. Kind of like if you make a hard bed, you got to sleep in it. Well, the more we provocate, the more that we're going to open doors to these kind of scenarios becoming real. This article from Daily Mail says that in case of a World War III scenario, Russia, German military says the invasion could happen even in this decade. It says they want to make sure they are prepared for a mass casualty event. And this is NATO doing exercises, actually involving America in it as well. Do we honestly believe this is a good thing? Well, do we want them prepared? Yes, but the provocation is what's actually causing a lot of these issues. And provocation is saying, look, we're going to put more sanctions. Yes, we're going to hurt your partners. Yes, we're going to actually let our missiles go into your country through proxy because we believe that's the best thing to do. Yes, we're going to keep funding the annihilation of the Eastern European people and the Russian people. So what do we expect? What do we expect? This is a big deal. Pay attention to this. And why is NATO doing all those trainings and all those scenarios to try to figure out how to deal with a mass casualty situation? Now, thirdly, why is Soros buying all these radio stations up? Now, he bought 200 radio stations. And remember, he's been working on this for a while. But no one stopped him from buying all this. It says George Soros is buying hundreds of radio stations right before the election, confirms FCC, and Brandon Carr confirms that FCC is basically helping him. We have a very clear process to review the foreign ownership of the issue here. The FCC Commission, for the very first time ever, has skipped the process to benefit this Soros-backed group. Now, typically, the FCC and also the antitrust situation would step in and want to know a little bit more about that. Somehow, the rules don't apply, I guess. They just kind of waive some of these things and say, well, the government's going to allow him to do this. Now, some of the biggest names in conservative media is on these radio stations. Well, do you honestly believe he's going to play them? He may for a little bit, but slowly and surely he's going to start weeding those off. People get their news not from legacy media anymore because it's so sleazy and, to be honest with you, bought by Soros. Well, all of a sudden he comes in and buys radio stations. What are people listening to? Podcasts. What are people listening to? Talk radio. Well, those things, the more he buys, the more power he gets. The more power he gets, the more he censors the speech. This is a monster situation. This would be like, again, Twitter 1.0. where the whole social media atmosphere is owned by liberal media. It's kind of like legacy media. The old guard, from MSNBC to CNN to ABC to etc. You could say all of them. They tend to be more middle to left or extreme left when it comes to news reporting. So if he comes in and buys this, and then you see the hate, of course, for Twitter with Elon, it gets to a point where he wants to buy the influence and shut down the people who are making sense when it comes to conservative-leaning situations. If he owns it, he's the boss, then he can fire you if you're not doing well. If he owns it, he's the boss, and instead of allowing Mark Levin to play right now or Glenn Beck to play or whomever to play, he can say, we're going to pull that and we'll put somebody else in its place. It's not about money. The man's a billionaire. Do you think he needs the money? So now you're going to see a battle of almost oligarchy, and that's scary. You're going to see the battle where Elon Musk and Trump are going to try to sway people in a more populist movement, libertarian-style movement, and American movement. Even Zuckerberg has come out and said he wants to rebrand himself and be better to conservatives. Now, a little too late, I think, too, Zuck, but I think people start realizing Kamala doesn't know what she's talking about, and Biden didn't, and we see our economy fall to pieces, and just like I said, provocation of World War III. But Soros, we're giving him too much power, and the government just allowed it to happen, to where now he has a voice not only on media, through talk radio as well. through other sources that tended to lean uber conservative, like talk radio. Now, he has the say. If he chooses to shut you down, he can. Well, that's really all the headlines I've pretty much had. However, there's one thing I want to mention. I don't drink soft drinks. That's something we just have not done in a long time. My kids actually wouldn't know what most soft drinks even taste like. Now, we'll get like the Zevias and some healthier style, or bubblies, or like sparkling waters, to kind of give you that fizz, kombucha. But there's one thing I'm very upset with, and I hope that you will join me. And I know that we're just a small channel, but I want to see a boycott. Now, Coke comes out, and they allow you to customize cans. You can put Buddha, you can put Allah, you can put the Democrat Party, you can put whoever you want, say they love you. You can put Harris Walsh 2024. But you know what you can't put? What they won't allow you to put? Jesus loves you. Not the word Jesus. You know what else they won't let you put? Trump 24. So here's what I think it is. They're scared. They're scared because the one true God and his son, Jesus, is a big deal. And I think they're scared to try to face that. Not only that, I think they're scared to death of Trump winning. Even though they know it would be better for the economy, they do not want to see that to happen because they want an establishment person to come in and win. So I challenge you, if you're buying Coke products, quit. Start buying something else. First of all, get away from soft drinks. They're terrible for you. Have you ever seen what Coke will do to a penny? Like rip the dirt off of it and make it shiny again. What do you think it's doing to your insides? So get off of it anyway. But please, boycott Coke. They're trying to take away from your freedom of expression and freedom of religion and freedom of speech. And I don't think that's right at all. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what your thoughts are on these stories. These are all very big stories that can come back with some monster repercussions. Provocations are bad. Big announcements. They don't want to see Trump win because they know he will change a lot of things. And I think now more than ever, because he's older, hopefully he's wiser, but he can't really win anything else. This could be a big deal and ultimately change the world for better if he wins. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts. Again, please subscribe to the channel and be entered into the giveaway. God bless. Be free with me.